Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Jinken here again. Decided I was going to try my hand at this video review thing one more time, and this time go with the first impressions on Superhot for the PlayStation VR. Now there are two versions of this game available. You can get the VR and the non-VR version. As I'm a PlayStation VR owner, it seemed obvious to go for the VR version. It's a very unique game in that time doesn't move until you do. Now there was a level like that in the platformer Braid, but obviously this is a first person game, so it's a little bit more involved. Now a lot of people might say it's a sort of shooter and so on, but I think it comes more under the line of a puzzle game, in that you have these red guys coming at you. You have to find out the best way to dodge their attacks and take them out. Now in the early stages, just for the first few, all you're doing is punching. Later on into the game, however, you start getting access to things like pistols and machine guns and shotguns, and then even sort of household objects like ashtrays, bottles and things like that. I think there's even a video cassette that you can use to throw at enemies, or you can use them to deflect bullets as well. But my favourite weapon by all means is the knife. Now although it doesn't have the range, the one thing it can do is cut bullets in half. And the benefit to that is you can use it as a way of defending yourself, as this entire game is a one-hit kill. And the time mechanic being what it is, does mean that when you get good enough, as you just saw there, you can just snatch bullets out of the air. That also means that when you get the enemies close enough, you can steal their weapon and take them out with it, and it's really satisfying. All of the enemies in this game appear to be made out of like a red glass, so you get a really nice shatter sound when you kill them. The one issue I did have with the game, and it could be a case of I just need to learn how to play it better, but I had a problem with the throw mechanics. A lot of the time I'd find that I would either just drop the item, or because I'd release the button on the sort of backswing, I'd end up throwing it behind me. Now that could just be me, or it could just be an issue I'm having with the game itself, but it's really rare I manage to get a kill by throwing a weapon. I did also have a couple of minor tracking issues, as you can see there, but I think that is just down to my setup. I don't really have a large amount of space to play this game, and it does feel like one of those ones where you need a bit more room. I've had similar issues with Farpoint, so it could just be how I've got the camera set up, but it is only minimal. I have had a couple of issues where, when trying to reach for something, it's meant that because I've taken longer to do it, I've been killed. But they're few and far between, and I'm sure with more time spent with it, the better I'll get. Now I do love the way that this game can feel, just by the whole, stopping moving. You can see where the bullet trajectory is, you can learn to dodge, you can use any items to sort of break or cut the bullets, and it's just a really enjoyable game, and it's a bit of a workout too. You'll find yourself sort of flying around the room almost, sort of ducking and dodging behind cover. Overall, the game itself is responsive. The sound effects on it are really nice. They are just solid sounds. Most of them are sort of the glass breaking variety and the gun sounds. And the gunplay itself is really good. You can find yourself either sort of iron sighting it if you feel the need to, or just going on reflex and seeing what you do. Now the only thing I have found is that because when you kill an enemy you then have a little bit of time until the little box pops up for you to move on to the next one, you do find yourself sort of flicking your hand back and forth to speed time along a little bit. However, once you know what you're doing, you do really get that sort of sense of superhero or secret agent, or the big blockbuster movie star, as everything seems to go perfectly. If you have a PlayStation VR, you pretty much owe it to yourself to play this game. It is really good, and aside from the throw issues and the minor tracking issues, it is still not stopping me from giving it the score I'm giving this title. I'm giving this a 9. It is well worth it. I highly recommend you pick it up. But thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and as always, if you really did, I'd love your comments and feedback, and please don't forget to like and subscribe.